to the Talk Box sign. You're listening to the Talk Box. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah, you're listening to the Talk Box sign. You're listening to the Talk Box. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Talk about it.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, you guys. Rise and shine. This is the day that the Lord has made, so we will rejoice and be glad in it. You know what we say here on the Talk Box, that every day above ground is a good day, and we got another day to get some things right. So me and my wonderful co-host of today, Ebony B. James, is on live with us this morning, and we're talking about accountability. So we want to just welcome Ebony B to the Talk Box this morning. How are you, Ebony B?
All is well with my soul. I am too blessed and to be stressed, and I will not complain.
Amen. Amen. Well, I'm so thankful to have you here as a guest on the Talk Box today. We appreciate you coming, and we just want to just welcome you to the wide world of the Talk Box. And before we get started, you guys, I need for everybody to make sure that you're liking the video throughout the video, whatever you agree with. If you disagree, put a thumbs down. If you agree, get a smiley face or whatever the case might be. And right now, take the time out to share the live. Somebody else need to grow with us today. And again, we're talking about accountability and how important it is, because we know that the Talk Box is designed to help us on our journey of abundant living. And without accountability, we can't really get to abundant living. So accountability is so important. What do you think about that, Ebony?
I think accountability is major. Being held accountable. Nobody needs a yes man. Nobody needs a yes man in their life. If you got someone in your corner and every decision you make, whether it's good or bad, they're like, yeah, that's good. Well, okay, yeah. That's not a good person to have in your corner. They're not going to hold you accountable for your actions.
Right. And then if somebody is telling you yes all the time, then really they're not doing their job, because again, we are our brother and our sister's keepers. And so we don't need to be yes men, and nor do we need to have yes men all around us, because we'll miss our blessing like that, because nobody is perfect. So therefore we need others to, iron sharpens iron. So we need others, and we need to be able to receive from others. And the best way to learn how to receive from others is walking in accountability. You have to walk in accountability. You got to own up to your stuff. You got to be able to say my bad. You got to be able to take accountability for your mistakes, as well as your upcomings. You got to be able to be accountable. It's so important. So we're going to start out this morning. You guys write down accountability. We want to be accountable to this morning, right?
Right. Absolutely. Very important. Accountability is everything. And it's funny, thinking about accountability. I don't know if I told you before, but you have to be held accountable for not only your mistakes, but what your mistakes caused. I saw it was something on TikTok. Pastor Mike was talking, and he was saying not only, you have to be held accountable for the mistake you made, and with that mistake that you made, whatever you provoked, you kind of be held, you have to somewhat be held accountable for that too. So if I wronged you some type of way, yes, I'm wrong for that, and I apologize for that. But whatever the wrong I did to you, if that provoked you to do something else that was wronging me, yeah, you have to be accountable for your responsibility for the choice that you made. But I still have to know that, if I hadn't have done what I did, more than likely you wouldn't have done what you did. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's a very good point. And that actually leads up to what we're going to discuss today. We got 3 C's of accountability, but what I want to touch on first is the 3 D's of avoiding accountability. Because a lot of times we're grown so prone to not taking responsibility and not being accountable, that we've learned these techniques to try to get around being accountable for our mess and madness. We blame everybody from God down to the kitchen sink. If you had, I wouldn't have did that, type thing. And so we want to deal with the 3 D's of accountability. And the first thing, the 3 D's of avoiding accountability is denial. We got to walk in truth. Somebody say denial. We are so prone to deny things when we've made a mistake, when we don't know or realize that just owning up to your mess and madness will get you out of that storm a little bit faster. But we are prone to just deny. Comedian Eddie Murphy used to say, even if his woman catch him in the act, then I'm gonna deny it. That it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It's never you. If you are going through life and tragedies are coming all around you all the time, somewhere along the line, it's got to be you. Because
common denominator.
That's right. You are the common denominator. But if we continue to deny, we're actually denying ourselves growth, because we have to be accountable and be responsible for our lives, because God have given us, and y'all have heard me say this a lot, the best thing and the worst thing that God gave us is the same. That's free will. Yeah. And so we can't get ourselves in a bind and then say it wasn't me. It was somebody else. The reason it wasn't that I cheated on my husband that he left me. It was that because he was not paying me any attention, and so I went and got attention elsewhere. So I'm gonna deny that it's my fault that my marriage has crumbled. The devil is a lie. We are accountable for ourselves, and so denying does not help the situation. Even in just everyday stuff, when you're on your job and you get something wrong, and then your boss come and say, did you do this? I think I told you to do this way. No, I didn't do that. Or the computer was wrong, or anything. We got to learn how to stop denying and living in denial. So I want to just stop for a moment and just welcome everybody on to the Talk Box. I want you to do me a favor and go ahead and share the live this morning. Share the live. If we want to get to abundant living, we got to learn how to be accountable. We got to learn how to stop denying when we make a wrong turn. Go ahead, Eddie.
And I was going to say too, because you said something about when you're able to admit and not deny, it helps growth. Now I do understand that, and we all understand that in order to grow, there will be some pain, mm-hmm. And I think I heard you say on one show about how a woman is pregnant, and when you know, when we have a baby on the inside of us and we're stretching, you know, we're being stretched when we're being held accountable. We're being stretched when we're supposed to tell the truth. All of that is a stretch. All of that is a growth process. In order for us to grow, we will go through some things. How are you handling it though? So you have to be willing to be stretched, and you have to be willing to be honest. Honesty is listen, honesty is a game changer, you know. And you know, sometimes people say, oh, well, she's brutally honest. Well, I don't know about brutally well, I guess brutally honest is when you kind of being mean with it, but honesty is what it is. You know, it's the truth, you know. And so if you're being truthful.
I'm sorry, Ebony,
Yeah.
but I'd say this. I tell my husband this all the time. I would rather you tell me the ugly truth than a pretty lie.
Ooh-wee.
Because what happens when you're being dishonest, what happens when you're in denial about your shortcomings and failures, what happens is you break trust with that person. You break trust in that scenario. You break trust on the job. You break trust with your kids when you're denying that you had a past, and you trying to tell your kids, don't do this, don't do that. And they know about your past because they got friends who got parents who done told them about your past. So when you're trying to deny and that sort of thing, and you're not walking in your truth, you the only one that's being fooled. Everybody else know your character. Everybody else know that you done failed. Know that you missed the mark. But everybody
now knows. I'm sorry. Everybody now knows that you're a liar. Also, if you can't admit to your past, and you're saying all of this, I don't know who you're trying to hide it from, but everybody knows. So now, not only can you not, do you not want to be held accountable for your past, because the past is that it's in the back. You know, you're supposed to no longer be like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So don't be ashamed of the past if you're no longer like that. But now we all know, she can't even tell the truth. Everybody know this, and she can't even tell the truth.
Right. So you done broke trust and all that good stuff, just living in denial. Right. Tony Capehart said your accountability is part of your responsibility, which helps your maturity. And that is so true. Absolutely. That ugly truth will give you some growth, will give you a little bit of stretching when you can walk in your truth. We all fall down. We're all imperfect people. And the faster that we can say, you know, it was me. Raise your hand. Who did it? Me? Who did it? Me.
Sorry.
I did that. I made a mistake. I made the wrong choice. But the quicker we can admit things, the quicker we can go about fixing that thing. You know what I say? Every day, we got another opportunity to get some things right. We got a chance and a choice. You know, so what are you going to choose to? So, and Tony says it's coming out anyway. You know, so we don't have to. And what about the big one? God hates a liar. God hates a liar. He used the word hate in the word. He hates a liar. So we got to be strong enough and mature enough to just tell the truth. Now, we do have to tell the truth in love, but hey, just tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
The other thing of one of the 3 D's of avoiding accountability is deflection. Somebody say
that's a good one.
You get caught, you already lying, and you get lied, and then you start to deflect. That's how you avoid accountability. Again, it couples up with if I can tell the truth and walk in my truth, I can be held accountable. And when you are deflecting, one, you're making yourself look like a fool. Number one. Number two, when you're deflecting, you cannot resolve the issue. If you even in a marriage type situation, I'm talking about in a marriage. If I pipe down and say, oh, okay, but in the back of my mind, that issue has not been resolved because I know that you walking in a lie. Sometimes we'll just the other party, not the guilty party, we'll just let you have it because you don't have it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so one of the things that you use to avoid accountability is deflection. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me tell you about that deflection thing. One, I know that one of the ways that people use the deflection is bringing up something else or answering questions with questions. If you say, well, where were you last night? What do you mean, where were you last night? Where was I last night? That you didn't answer my question. I asked you a question and you're going to come back to me with a question. That is deflection numero uno. That's the one that you hear so often, even with the kids. Where you going? Oh, I'm passing by the so-and-so. I didn't ask you what you was passing by. I said, where you going? Or where you at? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That deflection is a big one. It's a big one.
So, and that deflection is used to avoid accountability. So somebody else go ahead and write down deflection in the comments. We got somebody on that says, people have told me nothing is a mistake, but I don't believe that because no one is perfect. I believe that we're capable of making mistakes, but there is a difference between making a mistake and intentionally doing something.
Absolutely.
I don't know why I'm harping on this, but I'm talking about if you're in a relationship and you know that you're in a relationship, whether that be a marriage or a boyfriend, girlfriend type thing, and you know that this other person like you, this man like me, and I'm calling him and I'm doing this, that, and the other, and then I, quote unquote, accidentally sleep with him, that was not a mistake.
No.
You set yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
And sometimes then we'll use one of those things to avoid accountability. We will deny, and deflect because we done got ourselves in a bind and we're not mature enough to be accountable for our actions. But let me tell you something else. Avoiding accountability also, you guys, when we're walking in truth, the truth will make you free. I know a lot of people say the truth sets you free, but the truth will make you free because the truth frees us up when we walk in truth, when we stop denying, when we stop deflecting. We can put our big girl and big boy drawers on and stand in our truth no matter how ugly it is. Again, like we said, it's better for you to tell the ugly truth than a pretty lie, because that's going to keep you stuck. And so that is deflection. What about diffusing? We try to diffuse things by, let me give a good scenario. You done got busted in something and you try to diffuse it by saying, well, I did this because you did that, you know, and then don't even stop right there. Then, well, why did you do that? Because you shouldn't. Well, wait a minute. We're not even talking about this right here. That right there what happened 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You just did this 5 minutes ago. So stop trying to diffuse the situation with something that's irrelevant.
Let me tell you about the diffusing. You know, I try to take something from any relationship that I've had. I always try to take something from that relationship, whether it was a good one or a bad one. And that's one thing that I got from my two youngest boys' father. We could get into an argument.
I think I lost you guys. I'm sorry. I think I lost Ebony. Let's wait till she come back on. And you know, that's how the enemy is. When we're getting to the good part, then the enemy want to show up and show out. But I'm going to take this few moments while Ebony is coming back on to reiterate. Will you go ahead and like the live for me? Go ahead and share go ahead and share the page. We are holding each other accountable right now. We're actually helping other people grow and go a little farther. Good morning, Regina. Good morning, baby. It is so good to see you this morning. So we just want to be held accountable. God is looking for some folk who can stand in their truth. I don't care how ugly you think my truth is. The truth of the matter is, it's mine. It's my luggage. It's my bad habits. It's my because everybody is a ex something. I don't care who you are. You're not perfect either. And then when you stop trying to hold me in bondage because of my shortcomings, why don't we try to check out that plank that's in your eye before you continue to try to get the speck out of my eye? And we find that a lot in the church because folk think that we're supposed to be faultless, that we're supposed to never make a mistake, that we're not ever to have a shortcoming, we're not ever to no. But what a mature Christian does is, I'll hold myself accountable. That's one thing that my pastor always say. He'll come up to me on a Sunday when I know my heart ain't right. Say, woman of God, can you pray today? Can you preach today? Can you teach today? No, sir, I can't. My heart ain't right. I ain't gonna be able to do it. But you was talking about diffusion. Go ahead, Ebony.
Yeah, the enemy. See how he tried to do that?
Yeah.
He low down, ain't he? But one thing that my children's father would tell me, we would get into an argument. And it was most of the time it was me that would do it. He would be confronting me with something, no matter what it was. And I'd be like, well, you did that so-and-so, you did that last week. He's like, no, what you're not going to do is try to bring up, when you have a problem with me, you need to address the issue at that time. Don't wait till I got an issue with you and try to bring that up, because that's irrelevant. And he's done that to me a couple of times. And then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I can't even be mad at him about that, because he has a point. And people do that so often. Well, what about when you did this? Well, what about it? If it bothered you, why you didn't say nothing when I did it?
Right.
You know, now you want to bring it up because you done got caught up and you don't want to be held accountable. So you want to deny, you want to deflect and diffuse now on me. That's not what we doing here, player. You know, that's not what we doing. So that is an awesome. And another way that people try to diffuse stuff is they try to water certain things down. I've been where I'm telling somebody about themselves and they want to, oh baby, or you want to diffuse, like I'm not, like my argument or what I'm talking about is not valid. You want to compliment me. You want to water down what I'm talking about. That's another method of diffusion also.
Yes. So what we're not going to do, go ahead, you guys, help us out. Help us teach this thing. Help us teach this thing. Deny. What else is it? Deflect and diffuse. Those are the downsides to the accountability aspect. But now we're going to talk about the 3 C's of accountability. And the first C that I got is clarity. In order for us to be accountable and hold ourselves accountable, the first thing is, not only do we need to hold ourselves accountable, but we also need to hold others accountable as well. Now, so we have to have some clarity. My clarity would be, you and I have reached an agreement and you breached that agreement. I'm holding myself accountable because I'm doing what the agreement said that I was supposed to do. But I'm now holding you accountable because you didn't hold up your end of the bargain. Now, we're real bad about this with our children. We'll tell our kids, if you don't do this, I'm going to ground you. If you don't do this, I'm taking your phone. And then they do or don't do what it was that you told them to do or don't do. And instead of you holding that child accountable, you say, well, I used to, well, So we have to hold each other accountable because that's what pushes us into maturity. So the first point is clarity. Somebody write clarity. We got to be clear. As what's her, Ayana Van Zandt, clear. We have to be clear.
Yeah.
You have to have some clarity to be accountable, because if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, if you don't know what is right, how can you stand in something if you don't know? I tell people all the time, you cannot give away something you don't possess. So if you don't have no clarity in something, baby, you just lost.
Let's be clear.
Listen, Richardson said, clarity. Do you know who he is? Oh, when Tony Capehart said, sounded just like her. Clarity, well, clear.
Yeah.
Have clarity. That helps us to mature into accountability. We got to learn how to hold ourselves accountable, because if we want to live an abundant life, accountability is high on the spectrum. If you can't hold yourself accountable, that's why come we have roller coaster lives, because we don't hold ourselves accountable and we don't hold each other accountable. But we are our brother and sister's keeper. The Bible even tells us, when you have a alt with your brother or your sister, you go to them and you try to work it out. And then if that don't work, you go get another person to be the person in between to try to work that out. And then if that don't work, you take them to the elders. But this is where they miss. This is where church folk miss it at. He said, and then if that don't work, you throw them out. Because sometimes when I'm being accountable for my stuff and you just refuse to be accountable for yours, I got to separate from you. Maybe God is separating me to elevate me. So I can't hold on to somebody who don't walk in truth. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I don't care if that's husband, children, people on the job, people at the grocery store. If we can't walk in truth, then we can't have a successful and healthy relationship.
I can't walk with you. I can't walk with you if I can't trust you.
He said, how can we walk together unless we agree? Sometimes we need to learn how to disagree agreeably. But at the end of the day, if you're not being accountable for your portion, then we can't walk with you. So that was the first one, is clarity. And what about this? Bow. Somebody say commitment. You got to be committed. In order for you to walk in accountability, you got to be committed to the cause. You got to be committed to the marriage. You got to be committed to the relationship. You got to be committed to the job. You got to be committed to the ministry. You got to be committed to your children. You got to be committed. If I'm going to be accountable, I'm going to walk in commitment. I'm going to be committed to that thing. To see that thing prosper, to see that thing grow until the season is over. You got to be committed. Go ahead, Ebony.
Listen, commitment is a big word. And sometimes people act like they don't really understand what commitment is. The only time I've noticed people understand commitment when someone has committed something to them. For instance, I'm your employee. If I commit these hours, I'm expecting my check, you know what I mean? But if I'm not doing my part, if I'm not being fully committed, why would you, why would you want to be around somebody that can't really commit? You know what I'm saying? If people say they have commitment issues, they really need to think about what they're saying. Sometimes people get used to hearing certain things. Oh, I have commitment issues. I have this, I have that. Do you know what you're saying about yourself? And it's funny because, again, nobody's perfect. The Bible says that we all fall short of the glory, so nobody's perfect. We're supposed to strive for perfection. We're supposed to
Right.
try to do things in excellence. So if you're saying I can't do this or I have these type of issues, I don't really know who you're trusting in, because the God
Right.
that I serve says that I can do any and all things through Christ who strengthens me. So people need to watch their words, especially when it comes to their word commitment.
I like what you just said. If I commit to working these hours, then the other person need to be committed to paying you, right? But what be happening is people don't hold themselves accountable. You clocked in, but you ain't clocked on. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's good. That's
And
good.
so, and then you expect a reward. And see,
Right.
a lot of times we get this thing twisted. You can't expect rewards when you're not putting in the work. Everybody wants to be in this microwave society where we don't have to do anything. We just want to be takers. We're not givers. But you do know that the word says it's better to give than receive. But when we're not committed to something, stop expecting the blessings from it. If you're not doing your part, and that goes back to your accountability. We got to hold ourselves accountable. You know what accountability? If you walk in accountability, you know what that shows? That shows me that you are spiritually mature. An immature person can't hold themselves accountable.
Right.
An immature person can't hold other people accountable because they don't know how to communicate. And so they communicate ineffectively. But if we gonna hold ourselves accountable, we've got to stay committed. Somebody say commitment. Somebody said. That's right, Tony. Clocked in, but not clocked on, baby. They not logged in. And so the other thing, you guys, was here go a good one. The 3 C's. 1, it was clarity. 2 was commitment. And 3 is consequences. Somebody say consequences. Now, consequences could really fall up under the 3 D's as well, up under the denial, the deflection, the diffusion part, because whether we're walking in accountability or not, there's gonna be some consequences.
Absolutely.
If you're not holding yourself accountable, then you're still gonna have consequences. If you're not holding yourself accountable. But if you do hold yourself accountable and hold others accountable, guess what? You are going to have great consequences, blessings upon blessings. Yesterday, I was talking about learning to walk in God's laws instead of man's rules. So when we're doing that, we're holding ourselves accountable to something. And if we hold ourselves accountable, God is going to bless you. He says that when we are obedient, obedience is better than sacrifice. And when we're obedient, He's going to open up the windows of heaven and pour us out blessings we don't have room to receive. So you need to know that walking in accountability brings about blessed consequences.
Yeah, and just for a little clarity on consequences, because when people hear the word consequence, they automatically think the negative or the bad. But there's good consequences and there's bad consequences. It just depends on what side of that you're trying to be on. If you want good consequences, you're going to walk in that clarity. You're going to walk in that commitment so you can obtain those good consequences, But if you start deflecting, diffusing, denying, then the consequences will be opposite. They're going to be bad. So what really is it that you want? Are you really aiming for the good? So if you're aiming to be the best version of you that you can be, then you want to be held accountable for your actions. And you want, like you said, we want people around us. I want people around me to not only hold me accountable, but don't get mad when I hold you accountable, especially if that's what you ask me to do. There's times when people say, well, I need this people in my corner that's going to hold me accountable. But then when I approach you with something to hold you accountable, you mad at me.
Right.
Well, is this what you really want? You want a yes man? I'm not that. I'm nobody. You're might as well be mad at me now and cut it off right
Get it
now
on
because
out the
that's
way.
not me. Yeah, 'cause I'm not gonna be able to do it because
Well, I know.
now I'm not being accountable to my own self because I told you I was going to do something for you. When I do it, you feel a type of way. So now I'm not supposed to do it no more. But I can't deal with you like that because if I see wrong, I'm gonna address it just like I would expect you to do. You know.
Right. And like we were talking earlier about men being around you, none of us need that. That somebody gotta be there to be another set of what they say, two heads are better than one.
Mm-hmm.
And when we have yes men all around us, then we're in our own head with our own ideas. You ain't even spoke that thing out loud to hear how foolish you really sound. But because I'm your yes girl, I ain't even gonna tell you how foolish you sound. I'm not even gonna tell you how bad that situation is. I'm gonna keep on patting you on the back. So I want to throw that in there for free for somebody who think that everybody around you is supposed to go along with everything that you say. So that'll get us in a bad position as well. So
if you have that,
it's a bad position. So we have the 3 C's of accountability, which was clarity, commitment, and consequences. And we had the 3 D's of avoiding accountability. If you are the type of person who deny, who deflect, who diffuse, I'm giving you an order today. Grow up.
Or here's your walking papers.
There you go. There you go. Because everybody in your circle is not in your corner. So you don't have to conform to them. But you need to be the best person that you can be and be the woman or the man of God that God called and ordained you to be. I want to do a couple of shout outs this morning. I want to shout out to Yashelle. She's coming all the way from Baltimore, Maryland. Good morning, Cassandra Benford. Good morning, Tanya Mitchell. Good morning to everyone who's on the line. I hope and pray that we have said something to help you along life's journey while we driving on this journey to abundant living. Why? Because we have permission and authority to live an abundant life. I want to take this time out to thank my co-host, Ebony B, in the house today, giving her words of wisdom. And so I thank you for coming on the show. I thank you for being an awesome employee to Authentic and part of the Authentic family. I thank you for being my friend. I appreciate you guys, all of you guys. It's been a blessing to see y'all. And we hope to see you again. And I just wanted to tell you this. This is Work It Out Wednesday. Work out whatever it is that's holding you back. Work it out. Today is Work It Out Wednesday. Work it out. Whatever it is, work it out. Even if the outcome you think is unfavorable, I want to remind you that Jeremiah 29:11 says that God has a plan for you, a plan to prosper you, not to harm you, a plan of a hope and a future. So work it out. I do want to give a shout out once again to Cassandra Benford. I saw a post that she posted, and it was her in a wedding dress. Well, I declare and decree on today, while we touching and agreeing, that God will open up that door, baby, and give you the desires of your heart. So Thank you guys for coming on today. It's been a blessing. Remember to hold yourself and others accountable so that you can receive your abundant living. God bless you, and you have a great day.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, listening to the Talk Box Society. Yeah, listening to the Talk Box. Let's talk about it.